Y'all look at him. See, that's what Jason, well, them horns right there, they actually go on top of that deer's head. Y'all see what Jason, what he really grows down here. Look at that. Look at that mask. That right there. What's the story behind this deer there, Jason?
That is about, I killed that deer it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. That's about the last deer I killed.
Yeah.
I killed 1 or 2 since. I don't go much. I actually killed that deer on a place over in Mississippi. Oh, one of them places I've killed a pile of deer over the years, just one of them good spots, and killed him chasing a doe. I was sitting on the ground old school one day and killed him.
And that's a wild deer too,
Yes,
right?
yes, that's a full-blooded Mississippi deer. Scored 155 as a true 8-point. About 158 with them 2 kickers.
That's a stud right there.
You can't get much. There's bigger deer killed around, but if you kill something like that regular, you've done something.
And then what did that deer right there weigh?
He actually, the story on him, I'm gonna say the deer weighed 160.
So it was light for his rack size.
You know, we've talked about the blue tongue and the EHD, how their hoofs fluff
He
off.
had a touch of that.
He had it because his hoofs were sloughing bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he was chasing a doe. His horns were probably nearly fully developed when he got it, so it didn't bother him, but it messed his body up. He was lucky to make it through it.
I mean, he had done all of his growth by that time. He got the blue tongue.
Most of it, but he would have really. It took some time to get his body weight and all back on. But
All right, real quick, you just mentioned EHD and blue tongue. Real quick, because there's going to be some people that's going to ask about that. Most everybody around here knows what that is. Explain to the people right quick what it is.
blue tongue and EHD is basically the same. It's a hemorrhaging disease they get, and it's passed on. We call them no-see-ums down here in the South. It's called a midge fly. It's them little bitty gnats that'll bite you and you can't see them. Mm-hmm. That's what carries the disease. And when the deer gets bit, you know, depending on what organ it attacks, you know, the reason they call it blue tongue, because one strand of it, their tongue swells up and it sticks out and it actually has a blue tint to it. But it can attack their liver, their lungs, whatever. So it's just a thing we battle down south here. The southern deer can stand it a lot better. But like our deer that we're raising and breeding here, I've got a full northern herd because we've AI'd, artificial inseminated so long. So their immune system's not quite as good.
Because you can't transport them deer down here.
No.
That's the thing. You cannot cross state lines with
Just
these deer. So Jason has actually brought semen into here to breed the deer and been breeding them so long that you've turned it into a northern herd.
Right.
Of course, that deer right there, what we're just saying, that's a native deer to Mississippi, grown on its own out in the wild, and that's a hoss. That's a hoss. So what we're going to do is we're in Jason's barn right now, and we're going to take a tour through his barn where you can kind of have an idea, because there's fixing to be a lot of stuff going on in this barn, and I'm going to be asking a lot of questions because I've been through some of it, but I hadn't been through all of it. So maybe some of the questions I ask will be some of the same ones y'all ask too, I'm sure. So y'all just hang with us here.
We'll make this a 20-minute video.
Well, that'll be fine. We'll title it "How to Make Money Deer Farming," and then that video ought to do pretty good. See. All right, see, this thing is elaborate as heck. This is the alley that comes in right here. So they got everything boarded up and these little passageways for the deer. See, it comes and it goes a long way. You got trap doors all over the place right here. Shoot, this alley's probably, what is it, about a quarter of a mile, goes all the way back through every one of the pins?
Yeah, through all of them.
Yeah. So this same alley runs back, and then once you get far enough back, it turns into the wire, but it's got that screen netting in it. All right, so Jason just sent me to get this pick right here. We come in through this door over here. He's got that thing moved. Man, I need a GPS to figure my way out. I mean, you got trap doors, and man, we could have a Halloween maze here at this place, man. And charge admission. Dang, that's. And all this is that 5/4 decking lumber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it is now. Now, the purpose of all this, you're fixing to wean.
Yeah, that's what we're going to take the babies off the mamas shortly, and Tim's going to help.
And we're going. This is what everything's going to transpire. What's going to happen, and this is without the deer right now. Y'all going to see a video coming up with the deer.
Later, yep.
Yep.
What we'll do, and y'all can go back, if y'all hadn't seen my videos, y'all can go back and watch me feed the deer. There's alleyways between all the pens. But each one of these holes has a guillotine door in it. It goes up and down. So what I would do, if I'm running the deer through here, I would have somebody on the outside. There's a rope and a handle out there. And I'd holler, okay, deer's in there. Be one section, we'll let the door down. All right, when we get them down to this section, this is the hardest part to get them in. But this part, we'll push them through here.
And this goes into the barn right here.
This goes into the barn, and we'll show you this room. We'll get my flashlight out. I'll push them all in here. This is just a little funnel into a room, and we'll swing this door behind them and close it. Right there. This is what we call the red room. This room's 30 foot long, maybe 15 foot wide. You hold 40 or 50 deer in there. All right, and the cool part about this deal.
So what's up with the red light? Why is it a red light?
Red light, when the deer get in there, they can't see, and it keeps them calm. If they had regular white lights, they'd be a little more nervous. They calm down in here, all right?
Oh, this whole wall pushes. It's on tracks up there. Okay.
It's on the old, like your barn hinge door.
So you can close them on in. And
look right here. We'll show them this in a minute. Up there in that corner, there's a guillotine door, which we'll show them the chutes here in a minute. And so if most of them will go in there, but if you get one that won't go, you roll the wall towards them.
Okay.
We call this the push wall. And
Gotcha.
we'll push them up in that hole.
Okay.
And there's several spots down through here where we can pin the
Door
in so if you want to stop short.
And got a mat down here on the floor so that they don't slip.
Yep.
They get a little traction there.
Takes a right, but two can do it. Where this door was a while ago to funnel them in
was like that. Okay.
It's nice to have one person operating the guillotine out there and then one person operating this door. Once you get them in here, everything's good.
All right.
Smooth.
So question everybody, how the heck did you figure all this layout out of this?
I've been to a couple of farms that and worked a few farms over the years, and most people's barn wasn't this big. This is 150 foot long by about 60, and you get into a bunch of 90s and everything, and the deer don't want to go. So when we built it, we built this the red room, I call it, first, and the chutes.
Yeah.
And everything's straight.
This is that guillotine on the corner, though, because this is red room right here.
This is the red room, and this
and
is
that's
the
where they come
guillotine.
in right here on this alley right here.
And each box has a door, a guillotine door on it.
I see that on the roofs
Of course,
there.
when you run them in here, you usually have somebody operating that door, and then somebody's actually operating the push door. When 8 or 10 come in here, you tell them to drop it. And we'll drop that one down. You got them in here, and then you can sort them by the guillotines here. Of course, when you get up to the front, you don't want to have but one.
How long did it take to build all this in here? Because I mean, we ain't even seen, because it keeps on going that way.
It wasn't long,
wasn't long.
month or two.
It took a lot of wood to build it,
It
didn't
did.
it?
You could have built 2 or 3 houses.
That's what I figured.
But I like
Lot of
the wood.
screws.
We bought the chute, and you can buy the chute system that goes with it. But I like the wood because it's quieter. And most chute systems have that metal slide.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
how they hang up on cattle and everything.
That's right.
But this right here is just, see how quiet that is and smooth? It's just a lot easier.
Yeah.
And we had to build this up to the height of the squeeze, the floor.
So this is just like a cattle
Yeah.
squeeze chute, except
Squeeze
it's
them.
made for deer.
Yeah, and if you're working on them, if you was vaccinating or whatever, you can drop the floor out from under them, and then they're just hanging in the squeeze. And then you cover their eyes up with a towel or something, and they're hanging pretty good. But what
Drop
me,
that door and
yeah,
get in there and work on them.
yeah.
And all.
What me and Tim's gonna be doing when we're weaning the fawns, I'll just open this up, and here's how that'll work. When we get them up here, you gotta have a good flashlight if you're gonna do anything. We'll get one in here and we'll decide what it is. Buck fawn, doe fawn, whatever. All right. We'll have this down. And these doors right here on both sides of the chute closed so the deer can go straight. We won't even have any, we'll just let them run straight through. All right. When we get them up there, let's just say the first one that comes is a grown doe. We'll have fixed the exit door to where they can go straight out.
So she'll just turn and go right back out into the
We'll
out
turn
in the
her
big
right
pen.
here. I'll fix these mats. And we got a little dog leg right here that's around the chute. Now these are as a stall all the way down. So what that grown doe will do, she'll just go all the way back out of the barn right
Okay.
there. Straight through. And we'll tell them in a few minutes what we used to use all these stalls for.
Do you ever been lost in here before?
Yeah, especially when the power goes off.
Boy, I'd cry. Yeah, I want my mama. And there's another alley over here on the other side of this wall I just saw right there.
All right, so that's what we do if it's a grown doe that's just gonna go back out in the pen.
All this for a freaking white-tailed deer.
Yeah. All right.
God, dog.
This is what happens. All right, we gotta close that one. Let's close this one.
This is when we got a phone coming
When
through
we got
here.
the baby. All right. So the babies will, go, of course, be going to a different one. So what I'll do, we tag our buck fawns in the right ear, does in the left, so to make it simple. If it's a buck fawn, we'll have somebody standing behind this door.
And it'll go to the right.
To the
If it's
right.
a doe, it goes to the left
Yep.
over there.
And we'll get, of course, we got 6 boxes right here, so if you get 5 or 6 in each one, we'll take a break and run the buck fawns.
Move them. Go ahead and move
Yep,
them
we'll just
outside.
fix that door to where they can go right where the does went. Go out there and open their pen up.
And right out
Push them
there.
right in there. Yep. Very quiet when it happens. Very easy to do. But what we used to do, Tim, you can still see some of the writing from a few years ago. We used to bottle feed every doe fawn and sick deer baby or whatever. We used to bottle feed 70, 80 a year.
And that would be after they were born and they got a little colostrum from the mama,
About
and then you would
18 hours was the
and then you would
number.
take them and bring them right in here,
would have-
and y'all hand bottle fed 75 or 80.
3 times a day, you'd have 4 babies to a stall. And you know, on that baby deer, you have to wipe their butt to stimulate them to teach them how to
Make 'em
pee or
use the
poop.
butt, yeah.
So you had to do that for the first 20 days. So I was wiping butts.
So and the mama licks the butts. Why didn't
Yeah.
why didn't you lick the butts?
Not gonna go there.
I thought you were real, man.
I am real, but not stupid. But yeah, that's why that was. And we bottle fed. Had 6 boxes there. There's 6 down there, and about 15 down through here. And all these mats for bacteria problems and all. Every one of these mats came out every day. The floor was Cloroxed and the mats were Cloroxed outside.
Golly. So these are just another set of boxes here on the right.
No, this is the outside wall.
Oh, that's the outside
Yeah,
wall.
the
okay.
boxes are all down through here.
Okay.
So it was.
Golly.
And we trained these deer, you know, with the alleyways in here, so we could. It helped in the future to bring them in the barn and all. So it was a pretty interesting process. We've got so many deer now, you can't bother feed them all. But my goal was, in about an 8-year period, was to get every doe in here tame, bottle fed, to where we could work them and build the program. So, and it worked. But now what we have now, if you've got a tame doe there and she raises a baby, the baby's going to be tame. So the doe babies now, not bottle feeding them, are easy to work with.
This is an elaborate setup right here.
We started in here with a chalk line, popped the room off, popped the boxes off, and it was a lot of chalk line popping, but
I bet.
this is the rooms we used to use when we put the deer to sleep when we was artificial breeding them. So, doesn't use it a whole lot anymore, but it sure is handy when we win these babies.
Crazy. Crazy.
A lot of rope pulleys in here too.
Well, not only just rope, just the amount of wood, and then the wood screws, and then the hardware, all the latches, and I mean, y'all went through several pallets of wafer board.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's crazy. It was engineered like it is and turned out like it is. But there's a lot of people don't realize, and I was one of them, didn't realize what it took to raise deer to get them up where they were ready to turn out. There's a lot to it. Because like you said, it's a 150-foot long building right
Yeah, we
here.
got that big fan down there. I didn't want air conditioning because they're not going to live in the air conditioning. So that fan right there, it blows in, and then there's one on the other end that blows out. And when you get it circulating, it does good.
It does good, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
So,
Huh.
we used to have all them freezers full of goat's milk. That's what we bottle fed the babies. was
Okay,
goat's milk.
goat's milk.
It come from up
I
north.
meant to ask you that a while ago. I knew that, but I wanted you to say that on the video where
That's the closest thing to a deer's milk you can get is the goat's milk.
goat's milk.
Pasteurized goat's milk.
Wow.
We'd go through about, when they really all got to sucking good, you go through about 25, 30 gallons a day.
It took, I mean, this ain't something that you made money on right off the bat. I mean, it took a few years of absorbing some stuff before.
Lots. 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 Still wonder why we're doing it sometimes.
Wow. Crazy.
But it pays off if you're going to work them through the barn, you know, to have it right.
All right, well, I saw these up here a while ago. What are all the sticks with the tape on them
Just
for?
in case you need to push one a little bit, reach in there, because, you know, you can push on a doe's rear end, make her move up. A lot of times she might bite you or kick you if you stick your hand in there.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But usually, the normal deal on a deer, if it goes dark, they're good. You can handle them. And they're pretty used to it. They know my voice. And
You know, a cow is the same way. You know, all the alleys, you know, they try to build them in a radius
yeah,
where because a corner's the same way. A cow will run right in that corner and put his head right in that corner every time. They'll either hurt themselves or tear something completely down.
see, we kind of, a lot of the cattle people, you know, they want their alley open so they can see the person kind of on the outside, you know, working them. We're kind of the opposite. We want it dark on both sides, and all they can see is behind them and us pushing them, and it goes pretty smooth. It's a learning thing. Some people can't handle it. Oh, that's helped me before. They can't quite handle it because it can get pretty sticky, but you just got to go with your gut and get after it. It's not a. They'll see me, when they see us do that, they're going to see a side of me that they hadn't seen yet with the deer. It's rock and roll time. It's no playing. It's all business. But it works good. It's worked good. Every once in a while you got to take a chance. and hope you worked right.
Wow. So that's the tour through the barn at the deer farm here. A lot going on, fixing to go on, because the next couple of weeks or so, gonna wean the,
Pretty shortly, as soon as we get, yeah.
yeah, and so the fawns will be weaned in here. So, and y'all are gonna see that. I'm gonna come down here with Jason, and we'll probably have some GoPros on us, actually wearing them as we're working the deer through. And I worked cows a bunch of times, but the deer is going to be they're similar, but it's going to be a lot different ball game for me too. So,
Probably gonna end up with it'll take us about three or four different days. So we'll do 3 or 4 videos, and maybe everybody can have it. They'll know what to do before we get done.
Yeah,
Different angles every time. It's gonna be a hard deal to film for us. So if we make 2 or 3 videos,
yeah.
that we should capture everything before it's over with. Be interesting.
And the thing too is, there's deer. People don't realize there's deer farms all over the place, and there's some over in Texas that have
That's where it started.
500-600 deer in.
Massive.
I mean, just I can't imagine deer farming. I'm gonna tell y'all, deer farming is something that I don't want to do. It's like, I don't know if some of y'all are chicken farmers, some of y'all are catfish farmers. It's a lot like that right there. I would say with catfish and chickens, and I know a lot of chicken farmers, you have the farmer actually has more control of the situation than what you do.
Right.
You're just along for the ride, basically, man. Lord have mercy.
It's 7 days a week.
Yeah, in which, of course, they work 7 days a week, but they've got just a tad bit more. You don't have no control over. You got a little bit, but not much. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. We fixing to go see Rosebud, maybe.